Hey. I'm Sybil, aka Mom Jones, and I just thought I'd come here and just do a live because it's been a while since I've done just a random live, and I'm trying to get my life together and get back to doing things that I once loved and was extremely comfortable in doing. So I am here. Give me one quick second so I can share this out amongst my Facebook groups that I run. And in case you're like, "Oh, you have Facebook groups that you run as well?" Yes, I do. They are Mamas and Coffee. They are Meal Spots Conversations and Stroke Talks. Now, so that kind of fills you guys in a little bit about who I am, a little bit, kind of, sort of, not really. There's a lot. There's a lot to unpack about this gal. So let's go ahead and get to it. And this live is going to be me talking to you. You can leave comments. I will address your comments as I see them. Because I love, or I should say, I used to love doing Facebook Lives over on my MomJonz page on Facebook. So it's been a while. But I'll tell you about that too. But in the meantime, if you have something to say to me, would like to ask me, by all means, put it in the chat. I do have the comments up on display, so hopefully I see them as they come in. If not, just blame it on the old age and my eyes, because my eyeballs, I'm like, I can't see. But with my glasses, I can see. But anywho, I am Sybil, aka Mom Jones. I am the lady behind Sybil Talks, which is the home of Mamas and Coffee, which is all about empowering women to know, be, and love who they are. So the know you be, you love you slogan, which I have it here on the floor because I still have not completely unpacked my office from our move. Yes, y'all. So in the name, if y'all hear Meal Spouse Conversations, like when I say meal spouse, you're like, yes, I am a military spouse. My family was stationed in Bahrain. We just recently returned back to the DC area, Washington, DC area. And I am still trying to get my life together, but it's coming along. I'll have my art up with my slogan soon. I have my degree up, but I need to get my Know You Be You Love You slogan. But it's all about knowing who you are, being who you are, and loving who you are. That is everything that I do. It is about those 6 words. Be yourself. Love yourself, right? We tell our kids that, but as adults, we don't practice it. We don't. We walk around worried about what everybody thinks of us, and we often try to fit into different categories to be accepted versus just showing up unapologetically who you are. Lord Jesus, I can't talk today, but that's okay. That's okay. We're just gonna roll with it. And then the third piece is stroke talks. And stroke, yeah, y'all, I had a stroke. I know, Sybil, you don't look like you had a stroke. You don't sound like you had a stroke. But I did. I had a stroke on April 17th, 2021 at my husband's farewell party. Yes, y'all. We were at a party. It's not funny, but part of my healing journey is to laugh at the trauma. I laugh at myself. But yes, we were at his farewell party as we were preparing to PCS from the DC area to San Diego. We were there having a good time. I was talking, doing what I do best, running my mouth. And I had a stroke. Totally unexpected. It wasn't health related at all. Perfectly healthy, low to no stress, no no lifestyle, what's the word I'm looking for? See, I just total blank. Total blank. Um, I'm not a heavy drinker, no drug use, nothing. It was my stroke was, excuse me, due to a rare cause known as carotid webbing. And I just did a live over in my Mamas and Coffee group, and I did a little bit of show and tell, which I also did a couple of weeks ago over on Millspouse Conversations of doing our episode of the tea, as we do a stroke talks, like a quick little 60-second stroke talk segment there, and just to bring awareness to stroke. And I did a little bit of show and tell to show what is in my neck. So this stent is here in my right carotid artery. It is what is keeping that carotid artery flush against the artery, keeping it nice and open instead of giving that little extra shelving of what I say skin. I don't know what it is that caused the blood clot that went to the brain that caused the stroke. But we'll talk about that a whole nother time. I am very open about my stroke and about the recovery journey. And as I tell people, you don't have to be old to have a stroke. I used to think you had to be old. I was like, you got to be old. Nah, man, no. Don't have to be old. And I was healthy, perfectly healthy, and had a stroke. There are rare causes out there that are not associated with the normal causes of stroke. When you think of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, no, I had none of that. But I'm very open about my stroke, and like I said, about the recovery journey, more so of the mental health side of it, which is something that I still struggle with, but I am fearing it. Fearing it, meaning facing it, um, every aspect of it, every little aspect that hits me. And being back here in the Northern Virginia area, it has hit me harder than I expected it to. Going to certain grocery stores, going to the base, driving in certain areas. There's a lot of emotions that have that surfaced, because I can't even say resurfaced, right? But that have surfaced since we've been back. But I face them every day, and I'm rising above it, which brings me to something that I want to share with you, a little tidbit. Why not go ahead and spill the tea and let you know? If you're in the DC area, folks, you want to come talk to me. Right? All this energy, you want all this positive energy and vibe, right? You want it, you need it in your life. And all the ramble. Actually, I won't ramble as much on this particular day, but on October 23rd, myself and my co-host over at Millspouse Conversations, Grace Romo, we are hosting our very first big in-person event, and it is sponsored by USAA. Yes, USAA is our sponsor at Millspouse Conversations. Yes, y'all. I used to tell y'all back before 2021, and I'm telling y'all now, don't sleep on the sipster. Don't do it. Don't do it. Look, I have a lot of energy, a lot of love, and a lot of things going on. People see me, they think, oh, Sybil, you're always just laughing, joking. Nah, I am a businesswoman at heart. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Don't let my silliness fool you. But on October 23rd, we are hosting our event Fear. I'm pulling up the link for you to make it easy for you. I really didn't plan on sharing this event with y'all right now, but I'm going to go ahead and do it just because it came up in conversation, right? Like, see, that's the other thing. I tell people, when you're talking to me at Millspouse Conversations, at Mamas and Coffee, or at Stroke Talks, we are having real conversations. The conversations just flow, right? Like, During our event, we do have our talking points. We will make sure we provide all of those talking points, but you get to engage with us. We want you to engage in our events. This is a two-way street. When I talk, you talk. I talk, you listen. Then I hush, I listen, you talk. That's how our events happen. The conversation. That's the name of our events. The conversation. Like I said, I wasn't planning on talking about the conversation event during this live. I was just really trying to get my feet wet and showing up live again because I do show up with my co-host Grace, but I have not just shown up by myself doing a live for some time. Why? Because I have a bit of fear of the way I sound. So I just dropped that link there. When I talk to people, I hear a slur. Yes, I hear a slur when I'm speaking to people. My family has told me, Sybil, there is no slur. My friends have told me there is no slur. I do watch my live videos, the T. I do watch the replay there, and I don't hear a slur, but when I'm speaking, I hear a slur, and often a disconnect when I am talking. Okay. Often there is a disconnect when I'm talking. I'm like, shoot, I don't really know if that made sense. But I am overcoming that. I have become extremely self conscious about the way I sound, as well as some of my movements. And I will explain to you why. It is because y'all see me, I'm moving just fine. Everything is great. Everything is working great. But I still have um, lack of feeling to the left side of my body. So there's times I'm like, oh, Sybil, you're moving weird, or oh, you're picking something up, but do you really know that you're picking it up? Do you really know that it's in your hand? So I have become self-conscious in those areas as well as other areas of my life. However, I came up with the theme fear. Um, Fear was my theme for Mamas and Coffee in 2021. But I was on the other side of that. I was standing on the heel, yelling out into the atmosphere, telling other people to fear, to face everything and rise, right? And what I thought I was sharing with people was helpful, right? Because there was never anything that I was really afraid of, right? Like there were some things I had a little bit of self consciousness and um, little struggles with here and there. But for the most part, my life was rainbows and unicorns. I was skipping through the sunflower fields, having the best time of life. And then I was punched in the throat. April 17th, punched me in my throat, took the wind out of my cells, like really knocked me flat on my butte. So this year, I vowed to myself that I was going to fear, not fear, but fear. So, with this event that we're having in DC on October 23rd, I am now able to truly share about facing things and rising above, right? Like I have gone through some things that gives me a whole different view on life and how other people who are struggling in areas of life, mental health being one, I can relate. And I am going to take my light, my energy, and hopefully share and be an inspiration to others. Everything that I do, is about empowering other people. It is about empowering and inspiring other people to be the best version of them for themselves. And I did lose that along the way. I'll be honest with you. I lost that light along the way. But that light is back and I'm ready to shine bright. And I am ready to tell the entire world about what I have going on. Um, and I would love for you to join that journey with me. Now, I know a lot of people, when you hear mil spouse conversations, you think, oh, it's just for military spouses. It's not. Mil spouse conversations, it is military spouses having conversations about life. And those military spouses having those conversations are myself and my co host, Grace Romo. And you and anyone who wants to attend. Mil Spouse Conversations is not just about military life, it's about life. We talk about everything. We have our talk show, The Tea. It airs live every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. Like yesterday, we talked about friendship, adult friendships. Are they harder to make or harder to keep? We got real. Like we're real. Seriously, folks. Right now, what you see right now is what you get. And I tell people this: when you meet me in person, this is who you get. I'm not stuffy. I don't even know. I'm just like, hey y'all. That Tennessee come out. That East Tennessee gal comes out. Hey y'all, how you doing? Well, actually, I'm lying. I am working on bringing shining bright again. So when you watch our shows, I don't care if it's at Mill Spouse Conversations, at Mamas and Coffee, at Stroke Talks, this is who you get. If you see me out at the grocery store, right? Again, I told you I'm in Northern Virginia right now. If you see me on at Belvoir, if you see me at Panera Bread, if you see me at and I am in Woodbridge sometimes. Oh, and talking about Woodbridge, that is where our event actually is. Our event is going to be held at Veterans Growing America in Woodbridge. So, look, let me just say this. You are supporting a military spouse and a veteran owned business when you sign up and come to Mill Spouse Conversations, the conversation. Okay. So just go ahead, sign up. You'll have a good time. But if you see me out somewhere, you can say, hi, Sybil. You can say, hey, MomJonz. I'll answer to both. And again, most people prior to 2021, mainly between the years of 2018 and the beginning of 2021, well, we had gone into COVID years. So, you know, most people knew me online as MomJonz, the lady who would go live at 7 a.m. in the morning in her house coat, headscarf, because I would have my headscarf looking like Marge Simpson because my hair was straight up on my head, my coffee mug, and eye boogers and slobber. Because look, there is no faking the funk with me. You can see. Well, I don't walk out looking like that. I don't walk out of my house looking like that unless I'm going in the mailbox or maybe walking my dog. So if you ever see me walking my dog and I'm looking a hot mess, you can still speak. I'll speak to you. I don't care. I'm like, hey, but you may catch me in a pair of sweats, t-shirt, flip flops. You might catch me in a little jumper like this. You might catch me in some jeans and heels. You might catch me in an evening gown, right? Makeup, no makeup. Hey, I am who I am. No fake, no fluff. This is who I am. This is who I've always been. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in trying to impress other people that we forget who we truly are. And everything that I do, I welcome you to always show up 100% you. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The the ugly laugh where you're laughing so hard, you bend over because your stomach hurts. The tears, if if you have the ugly cry, I have ugly cried during our show. I have ugly cried. We have done small meetups around the world. This will be our very first major event. Like I said, we want you to come, sign up, come support. It is sponsored by USAA, so come out, support. But for our smaller meetups, I have ugly cried, and it is what it is. I have laughed. We believe in providing you a place where you can just be who you are. Our conversations are real, our conversations are relatable. And again, we talk about life. People hear MilSpouse conversations, they think, oh, it's going to be all about military life. No, it's not. We're bringing people together for conversation, community, and fun. That's what we're about. Mamas and coffee. People think, oh, Sybil, so you talking about? No, I'm not. We do talk a little bit about raising teenagers and those grownish kids because, when grownish kids make you scratch your head sometimes, you be like, dang, what the heck? Did you just call and ask me that question? Really? You did? Okay, you did. It's a different ball game. And then stroke talks. Stroke talks is all about stroke awareness. But stroke talks is for everyone because stroke just doesn't affect the warrior. I say warrior. I don't say stroke victim. I like to say stroke survivor or stroke warrior. Or the individual, the patient who has a stroke. It just doesn't affect them. It affects the entire family. It affects friendships. It does. I will tell you, there were things that changed about me that if I didn't have the support of my family or my friends who understood, who recognized that there were changes about me after my stroke, that just some of my behaviors, they would have they could have easily walked away. But they were like, you know what, Sybil, you're going through some things. We laugh about it now, that they're like, I should have slapped the mess out of you. But they recognize those changes that I didn't recognize. There were things that were happening that I didn't know were happening or even understood why they were happening. Again, I had to work through them. I had a supportive family, supportive friends who helped me work through, or I should say a husband who was like, you know what, you need to go get some help. We're going to get you some help. But again, that's a whole nother story. But this live was really just me hopping on to jibber jabber, working through rebuilding my confidence and showing up, going live, and talking. Again, it is extremely difficult for me to do because I am dealing with my own fears, my own anxieties. Again, I never had anxiety. I never dealt with anxiety pre-stroke. My own insecurities of how I sound when I am talking to people, when I am talking on camera. But you know what? Hey, I'm here for it. So let's do it. I'll be back. And I will I will actually have a topic to talk about. And if you have any questions for me that you would like for me to answer, I'll answer. There's because I believe in sharing. If I can't be open and honest, if people are afraid to share, and again, I was afraid, but I'm not anymore. Um, we will never grow. Like as the person who is working through the fears, if you are too afraid to share, you will not grow. But also keeping your story and keeping your journey to yourself, you're missing out on opportunities of helping other people. And I am ready for that calling. That has always been my calling. Being I thinking back pre-stroke, everything that I did was talking. It was about building community. It was bringing people together, and that was my gift. And I joke about this. It was my gift, but I often ran from it. I didn't want to. I was like, it was my calling, but I didn't want to do. I was like, nah. And I'm like, you know what? The good Lord said, I'm gonna sit you down. I'm going to show you. I'm going to hit you upside your head, and we're going to rethink this. You're going to be obedient. And so I am stepping up and I'm being obedient and I'm facing my fear by fearing, by facing everything and rising and coming here chit chatting with y'all. And I will be back. All right. Have a great day. Remember to know you, be you, and love you. Sign up for fear if you're in DC. And even if you're not in DC, just copy the link and share it with someone you know who is in the DC area. Okay? Just saying. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a fabulous time. Just saying.